Hi guys, how are you?
Great, thank
And
you.
hi, Drew.
How did you end up being cast in this movie? What was that process like for you?
It was really serendipitous. I mean, I knew Jenny Rim, who's one of the producers on this movie, from a previous project, and they were storyboarding Over the Moon at that point, and they needed someone to come and do some demos so they could finish their storyboard. And so they brought me in to do the scratch record, and we recorded the whole movie in one day. And I don't know, something happened when at the end of the day, we recorded Rocket to the Moon. And I just really connected with Feifei. And they loved it. And I still can't believe it sometimes. Like, they loved that take. I just went in there, and the first take that I sang was actually the one they put into the movie. So it was crazy, just crazy. Everything about this is just a little insane.
This process was so special because I really got to be there from the very beginning of the inception and see the layering that happens in an animation process. To feel really like this huge effort is made by so many people, all of the animators and animators and actors and engineers, that they're all trying to create this world and create these characters. So of course, that was really exciting. But personally for me, I've never gotten to play a specifically written Chinese character.
Mhm.
I was incredibly excited and proud to be a part of this, all Asian cast. I think, it's really doing such a wonderful thing at telling a truly authentic and daring story about a young girl who's trying to build a rocket ship to the moon to prove the existence of this goddess.
To me, it's a continuation of what Crazy Rich Asians John Chu said. He said it's not a movie, it's a movement. And I feel like that philosophy is extended into the world of animation now with Over the Moon. I mean, when you have movies like Crazy Rich Asians and Tiger Tail and the Farewell and now they're to me, we're breaking ground with Over the Moon.
This is such a very, very big movie, and just so unique in its scope and breadth, and with this very ancient story, but in a very modern take. And what a great cast, and what a beautiful, beautiful production. It was very, very big, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
I just knew that the content of the script was going to be so moving to people, and I saw the illustrations beforehand, and they were extraordinary. But the process of actually recording it was so fun. Glenn Keane is just like the most loving, supportive man. He's so fun to work with. He really plays with you. He wants you to go all the way, be as free and as playful as possible, and then he reins you in a bit and gives you specificities, and it's just like such a fun way to work as an actor.
I've heard that Glenn always has a sketch pad with him that he's always drawing. How did you guys kind of see your characters come to life over however many recording sessions you had, and then finally seeing the final product?
Something that really stuck out to me is that every time that Glenn drew her, she looked really powerful and grounded, even though she was only 12 years old, And so from that, I could already tell, like, Feifei is headstrong and confident and driven. And so his art really inspired the character.
You're working with a legend, and he has a very unique style, like in animation, where when you're in a voiceover booth, he was there with me, like in the room. And so you have that kind of intimacy of directing him, and it allows you really to zero in on story. You're not just kind of like, it's not like doing a voiceover ad and doing it over and over again.
Right.
You're doing something, everything you're saying, anything comedic is going to service the story.
He's just so supportive and so knowledgeable, and just so aware of exactly what you need in there. It's such a specific thing of what an actor needs inside of a booth, when you're kind of just like working where you just don't know what it's going to look like, and you don't know what it's going to sound like and what it's going to be like, and none of the actors are there, and it's just very strange, but he knows, and it's really amazing. He's incredible.
It was so exciting to meet him. I mean, he's made some of my favorite animations of all time. I think I blacked out. I don't even remember what I said, but it was probably like, hi, thanks for making this. Thanks for including me. I'm so honored. I don't know.
I really got to play and bring all of myself to it. And, you know, they were filming us during the recording process. So even in the film, like there's like certain looks that I'm like, that's kind of a thing that I think I do. And I'm sure they took many crazy things that I was doing in the booth that day as inspiration for animating. And I love that. I thought that was so cool.
He's just a master at storytelling. And I'm so thankful for, you know, the characters that he's made in animation. A large part of that like inspired me to pursue art, you know? So he's been so influential to so many people, and I'm glad that he could direct me because he should be storytelling for the rest of his life. There's something about his style that fosters just the sense of play. It was always fun working with him in the studio. And he's also such a clear, he has such clear visions of the world around you. So for an actor, he gave me everything I needed. And I felt like I got to learn so much from him.
When you saw it finished, were you completely blown away?
It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. It's magnificent. It's just, I think, something that the whole family can enjoy too. It's really special.
The Chinese landscape is beautiful. And we're also seeing a lot of different Chinese faces and Asian faces that all look a little different, but are all true. And then you go to this fantastic world, like it's insane. And you see this moon goddess dressed by Guo Pei and the way she moves. I mean, it added so much for me to be able to see what the world was. It gave me a lot of perspective.
So Helen Park was one of the songwriters, and I had seen a show, K-pop, that she had worked on, and I was like, okay, so like I already know what I got to bring to this because I know what Helen probably has in mind. So like, you know, there was a lot of imagination, like imaginary work that was happening. And of course the song itself is like such a cool song. But it really wasn't until like I saw the full animation that like my mind was blown and I was like, I'm so cool. I feel so cool. I've never felt so cool in my life. So I was like, oh, this is so awesome. And even better than that, like I know that none of that would have been possible without the entire collaboration and the entire team. It was just so beautiful.
When they first showed me some of the animation for Rocket to the Moon, I cried a lot. And then they had to take a really long break in the studio because like I was too like snotty and everything. So I couldn't say my lines.
It's a perfect family film for this time. I mean, I think this is something that is inclusive, diverse, and has a cultural specificity for a global tale, for something that's universally accessible. At its core, it's about life, loss, and love. And I think that, you know, the more specific you go culturally, the more fulfilling it is globally and as well as artistically.
So many actors talk about how the only real way to achieve immortality is to be a voice in an animated movie because little kids are going to be watching this movie in 200 years. Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, people have been bringing that up today, and I'm like, oh yeah. I just hope that they feel like they connect to Feifei. I hope it inspires people to learn more about science, and I hope they want to sing the songs. And I don't know, I'm really excited for kids to watch it.